Yo, this your boy, the real McCoy, coming at you, man. We talking about Major League Baseball. Got the talking about the National League Division Series. One of them, making my predictions and breaking it down on why I'm picking which team to win the series. I'm doing a video for each series, and as the baseball postseason progress, I'll keep going on from there and see what we got going on. This one, I'm talking about the San Francisco Giants at the Washington Nationals. Two good teams, very solid teams. The series begins, I believe, October 3rd. At 3:07, I think, first pitch, 3 o'clock, something like that. It's on Fox Sports 1, you know what I mean? Fox Sports 1 is a new channel, it's up and coming. They're trying to be like ESPN, you know what I'm saying? I still prefer ESPN. I mean, ESPN has been around for so long, you know what I mean? When you're the new kid on the block, it's gonna take some time, you know. So, but they're okay. But they got Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton's on there. I believe I've seen Tim Tebow, Matt Leinart, and some other guys on there as well. I mean, they're doing a great job, And but it's pretty good for Fox Sports 1. They're kind of new, and to have a post-game baseball series on your channel, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But they've got that going on. Should be a good series. Before we go any further, we gotta talk about Madison Bumgarner. Man, the Giants beat the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, and Madison Bumgarner, the pitcher for the Giants, man, he was absolutely dominant. He dominated, had a complete game, 4-hit shutout. I mean, absolutely, I think 10 punch outs, and he's a strikeout pitcher. I think he had 219 strikeouts on the season. I mean, he was dominant. He's calm, cool, and collected, even kill. I mean, with Madison Bumgarner, you can put him on the mound at AT&T Park in San Francisco. There can be an earthquake going on out in California, hurricane, it could be a tsunami or a tidal wave coming in from the Pacific Ocean out on the West Coast, and he'll just be pitching like nothing's going on. I mean, very calm, very cool, and very poised. And even after the post-game interview, he was like, yeah, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? I always like guys like that, but he absolutely dominated, man. And the offense scored 8 runs. You know, a lot of people say that's the Achilles heel for the Giants is the offense. Offense scored 8 runs. It's kind of an up and down year for the offense. But as soon as Brandon Crawford, I believe he's a second baseman, not a shortstop, I can't remember. Anyway, as soon as Brandon Crawford hit that grand slam, I was like, this game is over. This game is absolutely. I wasn't expecting Madison Bumgarner to have a complete game, have a CG, but I was like, once he hit that grand slam, I was like, the Giants gonna feed off this, and they scored 4 more runs. But yeah, man, he was dominant. He was dominant. So congratulations to the Giants. I actually made a video prior. I picked them to win the wild card, and I also picked the Oakland Athletics to beat the Royals. You know what I mean? That wasn't. They had a 7-3 lead, had plenty of opportunities to win it, but the Royals they would not give up. So, but the American League wild card game between the Royals and the A's was a phenomenal game. I knew there was no way the National League wild card game could live up to it. That game just couldn't be better. Which, I mean, if you like pitching, if you're a big, huge fan of Madison Bumgarner, then yeah, that was a perfect game for you, you know. So, anyway, congratulations to the Giants for that. And but going on to the San Francisco Giants and the Washington Nationals, they matched up 70 times throughout the regular season. June 9th through the 12th, they had a 4-game set at AT&T Park in San Francisco. The Nationals took 3 out of 4. Pretty impressive. The Giants are a solid team, great ballpark to play in. I mean, a tough for opponents. And the Nationals took 3 out of 4, you know. Then they had a weekend series later in the year, in August, 22nd through the 24th, a 3-game set in Nationals Park in DC, and the Nationals took 2 out of 3 in that series, you know. So, I mean, out of the 7 times they've matched up, you know, the Nationals won 5. They're 5-2. So, I mean, if you want to, you know, a lot of people pick teams, they go off that regular season number. Some people pick with their heart over their head and things like that. If it's the home team, what I try and do is, you know, try to look at the numbers, look at players, teams, history, stats, things like that. try to look at it as unbiased and as objective as I possibly can, you know. And that's what I do. You know, I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan, so right now all I care about is good baseball. Give me a good game. You know what I mean? Something to keep me on the edge of my seat, like the AL wild card game. You know, something like that. I know every game is not going to be like that, but you know, I'm not cheering for any team. My team I like, they're at home, so all I'm caring about now is just having just good playoff October baseball. You know, so. But when you talk about the Nationals, game 1, they got Steven Strasburg on the mound, and he's making his postseason debut. You know, he's never pitched in the postseason before. You know, and could the 2014 could this finally be the stage to where Steven Strasburg lives up to all the hype and expectations he had? You know, he was the #1 overall pick in the 2009 draft, coming out of San Diego State. You know, people were saying that at some point he has potential to be the best pitcher in the game. Some people were saying arguably the best, at least the best right-hander, top 5, top 10. I mean, he has some good numbers. You know, he has some good numbers. But I mean, as far as, you know, the #1 overall pick and all the hype that was surrounding him, you know, it was just that a lot of people we were expecting honestly, I was expecting a Cy Young by now. Maybe even 2, but at least 1, a National League Cy Young, no doubt. That hasn't happened yet. I don't think it's going to happen this year either, especially with Clayton Kershaw. So for the Dodgers, the ace for the Dodgers, but I was expecting at least, I mean, just all the expectations, all the things people, you know, the quote-unquote experts were saying about him. I'm like, give me a Cy Young, you know what I mean? But hey, you know, he can still get that down the road. You know, I'm not saying, you know, he's a horrible pitcher. You know what I mean? Oh no, I'm not saying that at all. But, you know, I just expected more from what everybody else was saying. You know, a lot of people nowadays, they're so quick to anoint a certain player or a certain guy. And, you know, that's just not the case. You know what I mean? So, but, I mean, it's his postseason debut because back in 2012, and the Nationals I believe they had the best record I know at least the National League, but I believe they had the best record in all of baseball in 2012. And the Nationals GM, Mike Rizzo, and at the time the manager was Davey Johnson. They decided to have Strasburg on the innings pitch limit, and they sat him down for the entire 2012 postseason. He didn't pitch at all, so he's making his, you know what I mean, his postseason debut. So we're gonna see how he performs. I don't think the stages, the light's gonna be too bright. Excuse me. Or anything like that, but it is his first time, and you know you don't know, you know. So excuse me, we're gonna see about that, you know. And then 2000, they lost to the Cardinals. 2000 last year, they didn't even make the playoffs at all, you know. And they got rid of Davey Johnson, and now they got Matt Williams as the manager. And he's trying to right the ship, get things turned around. Basically the same roster they still have, and you know, they're the best record in the National League. So. I mean, the thing, I mean, it's there. You know, the talent is there, no doubt about it. But we got to play the game. So, but anyway, what I did, I just went and pulled up some numbers that stood out to me, in my opinion, as far as comparing the Giants and the Nationals. And a lot of people say that, you know what I mean, the Nationals have the best rotation as far as starting pitchers, the best rotation in all of baseball. I mean, you can easily say National League, but in all of baseball. And I was like, okay. I mean, you look at the numbers and the names, you're like, okay, you can't really argue with that. Or you can, at a minimum, you can at least make a case. You know what I mean? You can't really argue too hard against it. You know, so. But I put up some numbers that stood out to me, and some of the things that stood out to me was that the Nationals were 3rd in the National League in runs scored per game with 4.23. That's not too, I mean, that's expected. But the Giants were 5th with 4.1. I was like, whoa, okay, that kind of caught me by surprise, because the Achilles heel that a lot of people say for the Giants is their offense. But they were 5th in the National League with 4.1. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's better than what I expected, to be honest with you, just being honest. I know that offense kind of had a roller coaster, up and down type of season. And and they had played great. You know, when they played bad, and when up and down, they played great in the wild card game. But the 4.1 kind of surprised me. I thought, okay, You know, it's better than what a lot of people are saying. And then I looked at some other numbers that stood out to me was I looked up stolen bases. The Giants were last in the National League. They only had 56 stolen bases, and the Nationals were sixth. They have 101 stolen bases, which could be pivotal. Look at the Royals. I mean, the Royals, when they played the A's in the AL wild card game, they ran themselves back into that game. I mean, 7 different guys stole a base. That's incredible. You know how hard it is just to steal 7 bags in general in a game for a team, but 7 different players stole a base. That is crazy. You know, I mean, the Nationals and the Giants, I mean, they're not stealing bases like that, but that could be pivotal because then if you don't have the speed to steal bags and things like that, then you're relying basically on guys to get those clutch hits. You know what I mean? That clutch 2-out base hit. The 1-out double, the guy goes from first to third. That's basically what you're relying on. The guys that hit that 2-out, or like Brandon Crawford hit the grand slam. That's what you're relying on. And in the postseason, especially with the Nationals rotation, you're facing some of the best pitchers in the game. So you need to steal that bag here and there, things like that, when you don't have a dominant offense. Like the Nationals, the Giants, they really don't. So that could be pivotal, you know. So that stood out to me. The Giants were 4th in the National League in team batting average, 255. The Nationals were 5th, 253. Now that caught me by surprise. I definitely thought the Nationals, maybe not be the best, but I definitely thought they were better than the Giants as far as team batting average. I mean, they were 5th in the National League, which is not horrible, but the Giants were 4th. Now the Nationals got Bryce Harper, Denard Span, Jason Work, Ian Desmond, Adam LaRoche, Ryan Zimmerman, all of these guys. I mean, I just thought it would be a little bit better. You know what I mean? Better than the Giants, at least. That's something that stood out to me. I mean, but you know, when you looking at the pitching numbers, they make sense. You know, the Nationals led the National League in team ERA. Excuse me, with 3.03. That's expected. That was expected. 3.03. But the Giants were 6th in the National League with 3.5 team ERA. So I was like, okay, man, these Giants aren't as bad as people are saying. They're right there. You know what I mean? They're right there with the Nationals. You know, the Nationals led the National League with only 352 total walks. Guess who was second? The Giants. They only had 389. You know, and I was like, man, they're right there with them. I mean, everybody's like talking about. I mean, this is team ERA, which includes the bullpen, and not just the starters, but it was a team game. You know, it was a team game. You know, and if your starter's not able to go deep into the game, then you got to rely on your bullpen. So you can't. I mean, a lot of people just look over relief pitchers, but they're huge. It's a team game, it's a team sport. So, I mean, the Nationals. I mean, and they also led the National League with whip, you know, with hitters in scoring position with 1.158. Guess who was second? The Giants. I was like, oh man, this is incredible. Theirs was 1.169. I was like, man, these Giants are better than they're better than what I thought. I mean, their pitching is right there with the Nationals. And most people are saying Nationals are clearly the best, you know, pitching in the majors. But they also, the Nationals led the National League in base on balls per 9, walks per 9 innings with 2.2. The Giants were second with 2.4. I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. They're right there. It's two pitching wise. The numbers say, I'm not talking about the starters, I'm talking about the whole pitching from your ace all the way back down to your closing, everything in between, all your relief pitchers and all your 2 through 5 starters. These are 2 evenly competitive, close teams, evenly matched teams as far as pitching. That's what a lot of the team numbers are saying. You know, and those few stats there is something that stood out to me. You know, other guys, they look at OBP, on base percentage, look at other things, all the sabermetrics and all that good stuff, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. Those were just a few numbers that stood out to me. And like, man, the Giants, the numbers say that they're a little bit better than what people are giving them credit for. especially their pitching compared to the Nationals pitching. You know, but the Nationals, but when you talk about their rotation, you know, I mean, I personally believe they're better than the Giants rotation. And as far as 1 through 5, I would say, yeah, they have the best rotation, not just in the National League. They have the best rotation in all of baseball. You know what I mean? I was like, man, that's what you pick me. Pitching wins championships. Look at the Giants, especially 2010 Giants. Their offense, you know, wasn't really much, you know, and they went all the way with pitching. So, I mean, you look at the game 1 starter, their ace, Steven Strasburg. He had a solid year. He went 14-11, 3.14 ERA. He pitched 215 innings with 242 punch outs. I was like, whoa, that's a lot. I mean, almost 250 strikeouts. That's impressive. Man, that's almost like Cy Young type stuff, you know, 250, well, 242, almost 250. I mean, he's a power strikeout pitcher. That's what he does, you know. So, and then you got Jordan Zimmerman, 14-5, 199 2/3 innings pitched, almost 200 with 182 strikeouts. His ERA stood out to me, 2.66. I was like, whoa, man. And just looking at, I mean, I'm not a Nationals fan. I don't really follow them. You know, I knew they have a good rotation, but just looking at these numbers, I was like, man, I see what everybody is saying. Man, there you go to Doug Fister. They, you know, the trade with the Tigers. They got him from. He was the guy that was overlooked in Detroit, because they had the two-headed monster, you know, with the Verlander and the Scherzer. Doug Fister went 16-6, 164 innings pitched, 98 punch outs. He had a 2.41 ERA. Even lower than Jordan's. I'm like, jeez, man, this rotation is serious business, man. And I see a lot of people are saying that. Then you got Gio Gonzalez. You know, he was considered for the NL, I think, National League Cy Young, I believe in 2012. I believe he kind of had a down year for his standard. He went 10-10 with a 3.57 ERA, 158 2/3 innings pitched, and 162 strikeouts. You know what I mean? It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. You know what I mean? And then the young guy that they had going on, Tanner Roark. You know, 15-10, 198 2/3 innings pitched, 138 strikeouts with a 2.85 ERA. I was like, man, this rotation is crazy. It's incredible. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like, this rotation can take them all the way to the World Series easily. Maybe not easily, but on paper, I mean, that's what it's saying, you know. And that's incredible. But then you look at it, and then you look at a step back, and you look at the injuries. Man, the Giants have some key pieces, some key significant injuries, man. The Matt Cain, the starting pitcher, out for the year, elbow. Marco Scudero, who had some clutch base hits in the 2012 World Series, I believe, against the Detroit Tigers. He's out for lower back. Angel Pagan, who was their leadoff guy, who sets the tone, plays out in center, a great center field, who plays that little triples gap out there. What that little thing is called out at AT&T Park, plays that very well. He's a guy who's capable of stealing a few bags here and there. He's out for the year with the back, with his back injury. And it may be just too much to overcome when you're playing against this Nationals team, especially with that rotation. It could just be too much, you know. So, but for me, I'm picking the Washington Nationals in 5. I think it's gonna be a 5. It's gonna be a 5-game set. I do believe it's going all the way out. I think both teams gonna win at least one game on the road in other teams' park. You know, or they could both split. You know, 2-2 in first 4. But I do believe it's gonna be a 5-game set. But what concerns me is that history tells me over the last 4 or 5 years that the Nationals they flame out. They flame out. They catch fire, get to the postseason, and flame out. 2012, like I said earlier, I believe they had the best record in baseball, or at least in the National League. I think it was all of baseball. And they lost in the division series, which it happens. But they lost in the division series to the Cardinals. And, you know, they had Game 5 at home. And they lost. And, you know, with all the expectations. 2013, last year, didn't even make the playoffs. They get rid of Davy Johnson. Davy Johnson. They bring in Matt Williams, best record in the National League again. And is it going to be 2012 all over again? I mean, are they going to flame out again like they did earlier? I mean, Strasburg, this is his first time in the postseason. Although light's going to be too bright, but the stage is going to be too big. You know, so but Jason Worth is the only one with deep playoff experience. He was on that Phillies team that beat my Tampa Bay Rays in 08 in the World Series. And then they lost, I think it was on the 09 team, I believe. Yeah, it was on the 09 team. They lost to a very dominant Yankees team. But as far as 2012 is the only playoff experience that a lot of these guys even have. And this is Strasburg, first time in the postseason. So, I mean, is it going to be 2012 all over again? And then with the Giants, like I made a video before, like the San Francisco Giants, they remind me of the New York Giants in football, in the NFL. That they may not always have the best regular season, but when it comes down to that postseason, they make a run. San Francisco Giants, 2010, 2012. The New York Giants, 2007, 2011. They just catch fire in the postseason and they make that run. I mean, could 2014, it's another even year. They won it 2010, 12, could 14 be that year? You know? I mean, so it's one of those things. Something's got to give, you know. History says the Nationals flame out and the Giants go on a deep playoff run. I mean, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But I do believe this time the Nationals will play up to all the expectations and the hype. I do think the Nationals are the better team. I mean, people have been saying the Nationals are going to win 110 games. They're going to win the NL pennant. People are picking them this year to win the World Series. And with that rotation and that pitching, I mean, it's hard to argue with that, you know. But I do have them moving on in 5 games. I have them moving on in 5. It's going to go all the way out because the Giants have that championship type of pedigree. You know, they're always there. And not always there, but when they get there, they're a hard team to put out. They know how to win. The Nationals don't really have that. You know what I mean? As a group, as a team as a whole, besides maybe just Jason Worth. They don't really have that. You know, so, but I mean, on paper, the Nats should beat the Giants. I mean, this is what people are waiting for. They should beat the Giants, but I do believe it's going to be 5 competitive games. But I do have the Giants moving. I mean, I do have the Nationals moving on to the NLCS to face either the LA Dodgers or the St. Louis Cardinals. So let me know what you guys think. You know, leave your comments in the comment box. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I continue to keep doing. I mean, I love sports. I talk about sports all the time. And just 4 main sports, you know, baseball, football, basketball, and definitely boxing. And so just subscribe if you want to, you know, hear break down more sports. I love talking sports. Let me know what you guys think about this series and just baseball in general. Who you guys think is going to win it all? Let me know what you think, man. This your boy, the Real McCoy. I'm out. Peace.